The following presentation is brought to you by kmmedia.pro. Please visit kmmedia.pro for more information. Now stay right where you are as we present... Welcome to Positive Talk Radio, evolving ideas, one conversation at a time. Great guests, dynamic stories and interviews, plus new thoughts on a wide range of topics and concepts. I hope that you'll hang with me, Kevin McDonald, my friends, and of course, you. As together we work to understand why we are all here and what we can do to make our world a better place for all of us. To be happy, be kind, and live in peace together. Yep, that's Positive Talk Radio. Welcome, everybody, to another episode of Positive Talk Radio, and it's a Friday, and it's 2 o'clock in the afternoon on the West Coast, and it's 5 o'clock in the afternoon in the East Coast, and we are coast to coast today. Reverend Rob is in Florida. I'm in Seattle, and our guest for this hour, Rocky Rosen, is in Las Vegas. Remember,
Leave in Las Vegas.
Remember, Red 32. I'm just saying. Reverend Rob, this is the kind of the kickoff because we're going to start it on Monday, but I guess we're starting it today, which is from 2 to 4 Pacific time and 5 to 7 East Coast time. We will be doing Positive Talk Radio live and with great guests, interesting topics and people, and we might even have you do some tarot card reading after this hour's over, and if there's anybody interested in hanging around for that. We also, by the way, take calls. So if you would like to talk to our guest today, I'm going to put up the number right now so that you can call in to talk to Rocky Rosen about something that is near and dear to a lot of us, and it's in every fast food, every grocery store, every place. It used to be in vending machines when I was a kid, where you could go for 55 cents and buy a pack of cigarettes, and for me that was a lot of money back then. But Rocky Rosen, the cigarette whisperer, is with us. Rocky, welcome to the show, and how are you today?
I'm good, Kevin. Hi, Reverend. I'm doing well. How are you guys doing?
We're doing awesome. I do believe. Of course, I'm speaking for the Reverend here, so I'll ask him. How are you doing, Reverend?
I am doing good. If I was any happier, I would be twins right now. And that's a scary thought.
You're pretty close to it already.
I was going to say, here we are, got a lot of things going, some things coming up over the weekend for tarot, and man, would love to see it. Lisa Ben Susan, well, hello there. What a beautiful young lady and her husband. I love them. They are, moving to Florida, Kevin. Maybe you ought to think about it. Okay. Bangarang. Rocky, you'll hear me yell bangarang, and that means remember what you put out is what you get back. It's all about that vibration and that intention, setting your intention. So welcome to my bangarang tribe. Checking in. What's going on, Kevin?
Well, between staying here and moving to Florida, I can tell you for a fact that we don't have large poisonous spiders. We don't have alligators. We don't have pythons. We've got garter snakes, and that's about as exciting as I want to get. So thank you very much. I'll stay here.
Oh, come on. It's great. We have poisonous spiders, poisonous snakes, poisonous lizards that bite, You
have poisonous lizards? It's
great.
Ugh. Anyway, so we invited Rocky here because, number one, he has done a lot of work with people about cigarettes. He's known as a cigarette whisperer because he helps people quit, and he really is no nonsense about it. And if you go to my previous podcast I did with him and YouTube channel, it's been downloaded quite a little bit, and it's because it is, I think it's one of the biggest issues of our time. Rocky, would you agree with that?
The CDC says nicotine use is the single largest cause of premature death, preventable disease, preventable disabilities. They estimate about 480,000 Americans die each year associated to or contributed by their smoking. That's more deaths per year than people who die in fire, suicide, homicide, auto accidents, plane crashes, train crashes, all of their drug and alcohol abuse. Every American who died on 9/11, every soldier who's been fighting ever since, and people who passed from AIDS. Take all those modalities of a premature death, it comes out to about 350,000 people each year. Tobacco takes out 480,000 people each year.
Wow.
So yeah,
You know what's amazing about that, and I think that's what I understood you to say too. It's not all smokers. There's a lot of people that are being taken by this disease that are secondhand cigarette smoke. Am I right?
so well, you know what? Secondhand smoke is nowhere near as bad as people say it is. One, if it was that bad, we'd all be dead and die from car exhaust fumes. Two, although it's not good for you, although it's not bad, the worst thing in the world, secondhand smoke has almost been eliminated. Unless you live in a household, you're a kid, and your parents smoke. You don't smell secondhand smoke most places today. You know that. Not like it used to be. People get smoke.
Oh, it's not like it used to be. Not like when we were kids, because we had a smoking area in the restaurant.
Is secondhand smoke bad for you? Sure, it is. But you know what? It's that person who keeps consuming nicotine. And by the way, it's not just cigarettes. I work almost mainly now with people who are stuck vaping, people who chew nicotine gum for years, stuff like that. It's nicotine. That's the addiction. You guys want to know what nicotine is?
I was going to ask, Rocky, what is nicotine?
It's an insecticide. It's a highly toxic insecticide. Every time somebody smokes or vapes, they might as well be spraying a little bit of hot Raid down their throat. And when you take this stuff in, it literally insecticides every organ of the body. So you wonder why your chest feels tight. You wonder why your throat feels funky. You wonder why you feel out of sorts. Well, if you're using tobacco, you're insecticiding yourself all day long.
You know what? And I found out in the early 80s when I was in law enforcement that when we started talking to people about bringing a tranq gun out to use, in those days, nicotine in the tranquilizer. So he's like, I'm sitting there firing up, and the guy's like, you want to know what's in here? And I'm like, holy crap. Okay.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, it's a stimulant. It always makes the heart overwork. It always makes the heart work in a way it wasn't designed to work. So that might have a lot to do with it because it is a stimulant.
So why is it that when you stop smoking, and I've done this, and I've started, and I've done, why is it that it affects your mood so badly? Because when people quit smoking, nobody wants to be around them for a while because they're very irritable. What causes it?
Because there are people that didn't work with me. You want to know why it's so tough? Because people, when they stop smoking, they tell themselves, I've quit smoking. They're now in a place of deprivation, which means I can't smoke ever again. Although I'm still going to although I want to. See, if you're addicted, you're still going to get urges. The urges can be huge, the urges can be small, but they still happen. So the reason why it's torturous is because they feel like I can't smoke no matter what, even though I want to. And they keep trying to convince themselves that they don't want to smoke. Both are lies. You can smoke. You may hate yourself. Your health may suffer. It may take you out in a way you can't dream about being taken out, but you can smoke. And quit lying to yourself. It isn't that you don't want to smoke. The truth is we do want to smoke. We do want to use nicotine. We just don't want to suffer the consequences anymore. So my whole approach, I always say it's teaching people how to get comfortable being a bit uncomfortable. But my whole approach is teaching people how to use the urge to smoke against the urge to smoke, instead of always trying to fight and ignore that urge, so it just keeps getting bigger and bigger until it just blows up in our face. Long answer, short question. Sorry.
No. So how do you teach somebody or work with them to do what you just said? And I can't even repeat what you just said, but it was profound.
I do it very, very well. Sorry. It's a 4-day program. We work in the same format. We work on Zoom. You can be anywhere. It doesn't matter where you are. And it's a 6-hour program that takes place over 4 days. For me to say everything to you, what I do in those 6 hours in a short conversation, I can't do. What I do, though, is before even day one is over, I teach people how to start using the urges against the urge instead of always trying to fight and ignore the urges. The more you try to fight it, well, two people can confront one another, can't they, Reverend?
Yeah, absolutely.
Being in the law enforcement and touching souls. So you can feel when you're being touched by a person. You can feel when you're touching somebody, right?
Correct.
People can get into a fight. But when people get urges to smoke, they can feel them, but they can't touch them. So that's how the urges kick our rear ends in. What I do is, again, and I wish I could, look, I'll give you the entire, first off, do you want to know why people smoke? Even though they say, I wish I didn't smoke, do you want to know the only reason why people smoke or vape?
Yes.
They do that to make the urge go away. The urge they're feeling right now.
That's true.
But then what happens is you smoke to end the Jones, and as a result, you spend all day jonesing, always trying to fight it. What an addiction really is it's an OCD. It's an obsessive compulsive disorder. I always ask my clients, are you ever in a situation where you obsess, I got to get out of here and smoke? And they say, yes. Do you feel compelled to smoke even though you wish you weren't? They'll say, yes. Do you feel like you have cigarettes in order or are you out of order with them? I'm out of order. Well, it's an OCD. And the only reason why you smoke is to make the urge go away, but the urge doesn't go away. So I'm going to show you how to use these urges instead of always trying to fight them. And as I said, it's a 6-hour program, but there's a lot that goes on between sessions too. And I can have anybody nicotine free in 2 days from the first time we talk.
And without the white knuckle?
Without the white knuckle. Well, that's up to the individual. Yeah, no white knuckling. I just teach people how to lean in instead of always trying to run away.
Now, is that more of a psychological? What you do is that kind of a psychological thing that you're?
I'm told it's reverse psychology when actually it's a very direct psychology. Here, I get people start. This is what people will say by the time day one is done with me. First of all, I've already gotten to give a list of benefits if they want out of stopping smoking. Better health, better life, feel better, smell better, taste better, less fear, more energy, sense of accomplishment, freedom, quit quitting. And that'll go on the back of their pack, their benefits. And on the front of the pack, they're going to put these words, I'm nicotine addicted. But at this point, they've already admitted to me they're nicotine addicted. So they say, I'm nicotine addicted. I want to smoke. I can smoke. I don't have to stop. Make benefits large and powerful. And every time before they start smoking, they're going to say these words, so they're not just smoking without paying attention to what they're doing in life. So I'm nicotine addicted. I want to smoke. I can smoke. I don't have to stop, but I want better health, better life, feel better, smell better, taste better, more energy, etc. Less fear. I step that up on day 2. I add some secret sauce on day 3. But listen, let me talk about the secret sauce. Do you want to know what the entire trick to quitting smoking is? The entire trick to quitting vaping
is to not smoke or not to vape.
Yeah, it's not to take the next sip. That's it. You see, the thing about stopping is it's so simple, but it's not easy.
Oh, you make it sound so simple, but you're right. It's not easy. Reverend Rob, you were a 4-pack a day man.
Sure was. And you know what? You got to make the choice. Now, what I did when the first vapes came out, and you could actually buy one that looked like a cigarette, was weighted like a cigarette, had the light would actually come on the end of it, everything else. What I did was I started and I went from light nicotine, but I had to invest in a good one. It was expensive back then. We're talking 12 years ago, and I was still paying over $100-something for this thing, but with a purpose. And what I did was I combined things from that I learned in dealing with hand-to-hand combat, impact weapons, and that's muscle memory. A lot of people are trying to beat the same thing at the same time. So what I did was I quit from 4 packs. Once I made up my mind to quit, I think I was done within 4 weeks because I just cut back. 1 week I went from regular, next week to light, next week to nothing. And then I'm smoking a filter that was just menthol flavored. And so I had beat the nicotine habit, and then I worked on the hand-to-mouth habit, the muscle memory, thing like that. And then it became more aggravating. Like, why am I even hauling this thing around? Why am I dealing with it? And I finally was able to just put it down, and I haven't been back since.
You're the unusual case, and you know that. Most people have a problem with just cutting back. I always say water always rises to its level. And I want to talk about vapes for a second, too. Vapes have been around for about 12, 13 years. And by the way, within 10 years from now, mark your calendar, a pack of cigarettes will cost about $50. Because big tobacco is really pushing people towards vape. That's the whole direction they want to go in, because they buy the lie that vaping is safer than smoking. I always say saying vaping is safer than smoking is like saying a heart attack sure beats a stroke. Neither is good for you. Want to know why? It's nicotine. Once again, what is nicotine? A highly toxic insecticide. So how can you intake nicotine all day long and expect to have the best health?
I agree.
Well, and I'll tell you, Michael Smith says he's at 2 packs a day. I think he needs to talk to you.
Well, Michael, if you've got pen and paper, I mean, we're going to leave it, but my phone number is 818-961-6978. My website is thecigarettewhisperer.com. Feel free to call me. If you wish you didn't smoke, if you wish tobacco didn't have this control of your life, I bet we can have you free before you know you stopped. And do your due diligence. Look into me. I mean, I'm all over Google. I'm all over YouTube. I'm here to be of service.
That's really cool.
Yeah. So Michael, really cool. give him a call. I probably need to do the same thing. Although I quit for 15 years, and then I had one, and that was the end of that.
How much today, Kevin?
I'm sorry?
How much do you smoke today?
About between 17 and 18 cigarettes a day.
So 17 and a half.
Yeah.
Wow.
Kevin, here's what I say about my business model. You see, it sucks. I am really, really, really good at what I do, but I'm the last phone call anybody ever wants to make, yourself included.
You are correct, sir.
I always say somebody would rather call a really bad dentist than call me.
Well, I wouldn't go that far.
Well,
I've been to some really bad dentists.
Yeah, well, they're preferable. They might feel more preferable to call than you calling me. But if you do call me, I'm what you call. I'm what I would say. I'm a leap of faith. I'll repeat the number in a minute. It's on the website, by the way, Michael. I'm a leap of faith. But if you make that leap, and I'm going to give you 2 hours of my time, no pressure, no charge. Just see if we were a good fit. If you make that leap, I'll catch you. Actually, I'll help you catch yourself.
Hey, Bridget, how are you? Good to see you. Got a bunch of people checking in, saying hello, and hitting a topic here that a lot of people, even Bridget, was like, I quit 15 years ago and still want to smoke.
Well, of course. Wanting to smoke is not the problem. It's the condition. Smoking is what causes problems. And when a person calls me, they call me because they hate themselves for smoking, but they love their tobacco. By the time I'm done with them, I teach them how to love their urges and hate the tobacco. It's just it's a mind flip.
Well, explain this to me, because I tried to explain to somebody what it's like to be a smoker. Mm-hmm. And they said, because they have no conception of it, that you're pouring these chemicals into your face and into your body, and it doesn't make any sense to them. But it's like you associate cigarettes with every pleasurable thing you do in life.
Yeah, but it doesn't give you real pleasure.
And so
it doesn't give you real pleasure.
It did me. I'm going to disagree. I loved it. I loved every minute of it. That's why.
Okay. My opinion is it's not real pleasure. Things that give you real pleasure is doing a good job. Things that give you real pleasure is maybe having a lover. Things that give you pleasure is good food, good wine, good experiences. Right. A nicotine addict gets no more pleasure out of smoking than a headache sufferer gets in taking some aspirin. It may feel like pleasure, but it's not real pleasure.
Not to you. And here's the problem I've got. You're wrapping a lot of people up in a whole thing. And my big thing is looking at people as individuals. And we need to start listening to these people. And one of the thing is when somebody tells you, no, this is, I enjoyed it. And I know Bridget enjoyed it. Michael still enjoys it. But I think he's getting to the point where he's tired of it. So that's a Michael decision.
Hey, Michael, do you enjoy smoking?
Pop it in there, Michael.
If you want to call in, Michael, you can, and then the number's floating across your screen, and we can actually have a dialogue if you'd like to do that. Because it is, it's one of those things, and you mentioned it, having a nice glass of wine. You have a cigarette with a nice glass of wine or a cup of coffee, and maybe it's just habit. Maybe we just.
If you enjoy it so much, then don't stop.
Oh, but it's going to kill me.
Well, then.
It's the conundrum. I have no choice.
If you enjoy it so much, don't stop. You know what? I do recognize there are things that we do. We can take the same thought process to Dairy Queen. And people enjoy ice cream, but it will kill them if they consume it too much and move on. So they have to get that under control. Anything to excess is not good for you.
They don't have to. They can just lose control and lose their lives. You don't have to stop smoking.
But you
don't have to stop overeating. You don't have to stop. You see, what nicotine is it's an abuse. It's stopping smoking is not stopping smoking. Stopping smoking is getting out of a really crappy relationship. I can go
a little bit with that. I can go a little bit with that.
I do that, Reverend. You made my day. It's a relationship. And it's an abusive relationship. If you were a police officer, you certainly saw the results of a lot of really abusive relationships, haven't you?
Absolutely.
Okay. There is no relationship more abusive than what a smoker goes through with their nicotine. If you take it to the end level, you want to talk about abuse? You want to talk about the heart attack, stroke, cancer, COPD, abuse? You're in love with something that doesn't give a crap about you.
But that's my point. You were making the statement. People don't enjoy smoking, and yes, they do.
No, I don't. I
women that are in love with men that abuse the crap out of them. It doesn't mean they belong together.
I didn't say people don't enjoy it. I said it may feel like pleasure, but it's not real pleasure. It's a moment of relief from whatever discomfort you're feeling at that moment by having that urge. What feels like pleasure is getting relief from the urge to smoke. And that's not real pleasure. I'm not going to say it doesn't feel like pleasure. Hey, are you dad? Are either of you a dad?
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Your kid comes up to you out of nowhere and goes, "Hey, Dad, I love you." How's that make you feel?
Wonderful.
Feels good.
You get
recognized for money.
Recognized as a correspondent, as a podcaster. How's that make you feel?
Wonderful.
Good.
Your relationship and you're in sync and you're just holding hands. How's that? That gives you pleasure.
Right.
You don't get the same pleasure out of smoking. You just get a moment of no more urge.
Well, number one, apples and oranges, but number two, yeah, I did. You can't tell me what I experienced and what I did,
Right.
And that's one of those things. So so that on this subject, we just need to agree to disagree. But that's what I'm getting at is, and a lot of this is somebody's perception, and Christina, I got it. I love you, Dad. I love you too, sweetie. Thank you very much. That's my daughter down there saying I love you. Okay. And we deal with a lot of things where we've made bad choices. And for every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. So
that doesn't mean you continue to make bad choices. Nicotine is a bad choice.
We don't have to make bad choices. You're absolutely right.
Nicotine is a bad choice. I don't care how you
I agree with that.
Rocky, could you give out your number one more time? Because
my phone number is, I'm really easy to find. I'm all over Google, but it's My website is thecigarettewhisperer.com. My phone number is 818-961-6978.
You know,
And go on.
ahead.
I'm sorry.
No, I was going to say my brother passed of stage 4 lung cancer.
So sorry.
A year ago, October.
That is an ugly death.
It is.
Yes, it is.
And he smoked till the last day of his life.
Yeah, I always say my mom finally stopped smoking right after her ashes had cooled.
Hold on.
I got it.
But Michael, who is and Michael, thank you for being honest. He's dealing with COPD and emphysema already. It's time to quit, and it's hard for it. So Michael, give him a call. He can help you.
You know, the nice thing about COPD and emphysema, Michael, and I don't know how advanced it is, if you stop smoking, it doesn't go away, but it doesn't have to keep progressing. It can end the progression. And if you know, this is all, stopping smoking is not a matter of how long do I get to live. It's a matter of how well do I get to live. This is a quantity of life. This is a quality of life issue, not a quantity of life issue.
And that I am totally agree with you, Rocky. I think that, yes, it's a choice for quality.
Reverend,
you underline that, circle it in red or whatnot. And that, you know,
okay, finally. Okay. That's funny. Yeah. It's a tricky, you're on 2 inhalers. All right. How's that working out for you? All because of tobacco. All because of tobacco.
Michael, you thought I was mean about it. Listen to the man, okay? Because I've had this chat with Michael before, okay? So now when everybody thinks the Reverend's such an ass, here we go, okay? How's that working out for you? Cigarette with an attitude.
Well, the thing is, you love the tobacco. The tobacco does not give a crap about you. You live, you die. It doesn't care. It just wants your money. So what if it takes your health? So if it leaves you with COPD and emphysema on 2 inhalers? Screw you. Get another pack.
And at $10 a piece these days.
Well, it is amazing. You know, I talk to minimum wage earners who smoke 2 packs a day, and whether they know it or not, they're spending close to $5,000, $6,000, $7,000 on cigarettes each year. I always ask somebody, what could you do with an extra $3,000, $5,000 in a year?
Well, especially if you're on minimum wage.
Yeah, life.
Hey, look at Bruce's comment. Look at Bruce's comment down there.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and Bruce is gonna just jump in here. Okay, I'll jump in here. I am an avid cigar smoker. I enjoy it. I quit pot, drugs, sleeping around, and I don't drink, but I still smoke cigars. By the way,
I hope you enjoy them all you want. You see, I'm not anti-smoking. I will protect a smoker's rights. I hate the way smokers are treated by society. I hate the way smokers treat themselves. Bruce, I don't care if you smoke or not. I would only care if you wish you did. But if you enjoy it, hey, have at your life. I don't care. And if you wish you didn't, that's where I come in.
And besides, you know, I was just thinking, you know, if he enjoys smoking a cigar, I would quit smoking a cigar before I quit pot, drugs, or sleeping around. That's just me. Because, you know,
very funny.
It is.
The situation wasn't made Bruce want to stop doing all that stuff. Maybe it's a good woman. Maybe it's whatever number of things. But enjoy your cigars, Bruce.
And like my weed too.
Okay, let's talk about the difference between marijuana and tobacco. Okay.
Oh, let's do.
In my opinion, for many people, marijuana is a very positive medicine. Tobacco is always a poison. If somebody's smoking marijuana because they want to have they want the effects, I say, great, have at it. If you're smoking marijuana because you want to smoke a cigarette or a cigar, you're never going to find what you're looking for because you're not going to find any nicotine in marijuana. You're not going to find any THC in tobacco. You're not going to find any nicotine in marijuana. But great, enjoy weed. I think it's a very, very beneficial tool for a lot of people.
You know, years ago when I was in high school, we were standing around talking with the gym teacher, and he said, you know, there's a difference between drinking alcohol and smoking cigarettes. And the difference is that if you drink alcohol, you at least get some remedial satisfaction from it, and because you're going to get drunk. If you smoke cigarettes, there ain't nothing.
There's a moment of relief.
Yeah, that's true.
That's all there is. It doesn't get you high. It doesn't make you a more fulfilled individual. All it does is give you a moment of relief from the urges that never totally go away. So I'm going to show you how to really how to use your urges, how to enjoy the urges and hate the cigarettes and hate the tobacco. Not the other way around, hating myself and loving the tobacco. No, my clients learn how to really dig their urges.
That's a paradigm shift. That really is an important shift to make, isn't it?
So when are you going to call me, Kevin?
Well, you know that Rocky, that day is quickly coming.
Kevin, let me ask you a quick question. Okay.
Do you want me to answer it honestly?
Yes, I do.
Or can I lie?
No, please be honest. Okay.
Okay.
On some level or another, do you really, really wish tobacco didn't control your life the way it does?
Incessantly.
Okay, Kevin, in your life, who or what comes first?
There's a good question. I need therapy around that one.
But who or what do you think comes first in your life?
Actually, my kids do.
No, they don't. So go on, keep going. Dig a little deeper.
Okay, I do.
No, you don't. Go on, dig a little deeper, Kevin.
My cigarettes do? I don't know.
Kevin, yes, if your kids really came first, would you still be smoking?
No.
If you really came first, would you still be smoking?
No.
Cigarettes come before everything and everyone in your life. You'll walk away from anything to go have a cigarette faster than you'll walk away from anything, walk away from a cigarette to go do something else. When they call you, there is no human or godly power that's going to stop you from going to smoke because they come first. And I always say cigarettes are shaped perfectly. They're little pricks that want to hurt you. You love them. They don't care about you. So just if you really, really wish you didn't smoke, you know what the most courageous thing you could do is give me 2 hours.
Okay. I
know you're spot, but you know what? I've got a smoker here. Might as well do it.
Well, you know, in the last
15 years, you didn't smoke.
Correct.
And you beat yourself every day over that, saying, "How did I ever get a day off? Yet all those years off." Am I right?
Yep.
Yep.
But then I drove a bus for a living in the stress, and those are all just excuses, I think.
Yes, sir. We have a million excuses.
The fact of the matter is,
we have a lot of excuses.
Yeah, I think realistically, I always, and I'm sure Reverend Rob is the same way. I wish that I could still be. When I quit for 15 years, I wish that I could still smoke. And then when the reason why I couldn't, because I got divorced and stuff, that removed any barrier, so then I could go do it again.
Magic mirror. Here I am smoking, looking at my reflection, going, "God, I wish I could quit." Here I am not smoking, looking in my mirror, going, "Man, I wish I could have a cigarette." It's the same feeling. It's just the mirror image of it.
Exactly. And Michael says, "I don't hate myself for smoking. All the adults in my family smoked, uncles, aunts, parents, and grandparents. But the residual effects are still there."
Do you hate having COPD and emphysema? Just wondering. Is she worth it? And that's how I look at cigarettes. That's how I look at tobacco. It's an HIV-infected skank. You love it. It doesn't care about you.
So you
And
don't.
if you look at your brother's death, your brother died the same death as somebody who dies from AIDS. And you know I'm telling the truth. He wasted away till nothing, until every human dignity got taken away, just like a person dying from AIDS, because tobacco is AIDS in a package. The end result is the same. But what do I know?
I can tell you for a fact that's my brother. That's what he went down that path, and it was amazing because even though and he always thought God was going to heal him, but it didn't turn out that way, I'm afraid. And to his dying week, he would go out in his walker at that point and go out to the deck so he could smoke a cigarette.
Did you hear about the farmer who was at St. Peter's Gates? There was a flood, and the water was up to his shins. And neighbors came by in an all-terrain vehicle. Get in, it's going to be bad. No. And then next thing you know, the water's up to his chest, and people come by in a rowboat. Get in, we'll take you to safety. No, God will protect me. Next thing you know, he's on the roof, and the water's up to his chin again, and he dies. And a helicopter comes by. He grabbed the rope, and the guy goes, "No, God will take care of this." Next thing you know, he's at St. Peter's Gate, and St. Peter goes, "Well, yeah, God sent you 3 chances." Faith without work doesn't mean anything. Faith without works is dead. And either I don't. And again, like I say, I'm honored to be here. I don't care if a person smokes or not. If you wish you didn't, I hope you might consider giving me a call. Period.
I will.
You don't.
I'll take that bet.
Don't write a check that you're not. Don't write the check that you're not willing to cash. But I'm telling you right now, Kevin, I'm here for you.
I really appreciate that. And you're here. You really have a caring. And the dialogue that we're having, I think, is very important for all of us because there's strong emotions that go around with this kind of thing with smoking and whether and all that kind of stuff. So
That's why I say stopping smoking is not stopping smoking. Stopping smoking is getting out of a very bad abusive relationship that costs you nothing but your money and your health. When you're in a bad relationship, it might be a good idea to think about maybe getting out of it. Ever been in a bad relationship, guys?
Not me.
Not me.
Right now, everybody's rolling over in the grave. Bruce, Bridget, Michael, they all that know me. So it is one of those things. So it's personal choice, and you got to make it, and you got to weigh your options. It's one of those things. I don't believe in one size fits all. I do believe in telling the truth, but one man's truth is not necessarily another man's truth. So
that's why you do 2 hours
for 4 years. That some people you can't hit them over the head with a hammer. Okay, keep yelling out that kind of stuff, and right away. I remember the point when they started putting the chick that was smoking on the TV ads. And I had to do research because my kids would yell at me, "Dad, she's on TV." And I would come out and blow smoke on the cigarette screen there. Harry, lighten up, take a breath, because it was just irritating to me. All right. But then I found out those ads weren't meant for me. They were meant for teenagers. And they were successful with helping deter teenage smoking. So, okay, little education goes a long way in finding out what's going on. But I also know that, I don't ever want to take I stand in the dirt, a one size fits all. No. Standing over too many beds, too many things.
Look, I offer a free consultation. If it doesn't feel right, nice talking to you. Have a good life. Goodbye.
There you go.
That's my attitude. I really don't care if people smoke or not. I care if they wish they didn't, period. And if you feel stuck, I got a way to get you unstuck. Now, you don't have to agree with everything I say. I'm going to state what I know to be a fact from me. And if that doesn't work for you, have a good life.
Well, I for one, Rocky, I really appreciate your forthrightness, and I really have enjoyed this dialogue between us. This has been a lot of fun, and
I want to say something real quick. Yes, that is a picture of Mona Lisa taking a cigarette break. So, Bruce, I wanted to ask about that picture, my background.
Oh, yes.
Mona Lisa on a cigarette break.
Oh, I didn't even notice that.
Bruce did, and I wanted to answer his question.
Oh, that is funny. That is
he's
funny.
very observant. Yeah.
That is great fun. So I really have enjoyed this conversation. And if there's somebody who wants to get a hold of you again, Rocky, they go to
thecigarettewhisperer.com, or just type in The Cigarette Whisperer, or my phone number 818-961-6978. If you believe getting smoke free will be one of the biggest accomplishments of your life, and you really, really wish you could be free, I hope you'll call me.
Thank you very much for saying that, and thank you very much for being here. And
my honor.
You know, this show, we want to save somebody's life, and the life you save may be your own.
Or yours, Kevin.
Yeah, I know. I've got to, I'm not as young as I used to be, and I need to get. That is one habit that I do need to get rid of.
Okay. Well, here, I'll tell you how to stop. You ready? Save you all kinds of time and money. You ready?
Yeah.
Don't take the next puff. You're done.
Yeah, now I'll go with that. The biggest mistake a lot of people make is, well, when I get done with this pack, or when I get done with this carton. Yeah, stop lying to yourself about that. If you really want to quit, take them all and throw them in the trash. And that was something I had to do.
It's amazing when you throw it in the trash, because you can't throw see, I've got a pack of cigarettes right here. Mm-hmm. You can't throw your cigarettes away. You're surrounded by cigarettes. Every time you throw your cigarettes away, all you think about are cigarettes. When you don't have cigarettes with you, that's all you think about. When you do, my opinion, I see the Reverend shaking his head. When you have cigarettes with you, what do you think about? You think about everything else, and a cigarette never thought occurs to you. It's when I don't have them, they drive me freaking crazy. So that's my opinion. The Reverend has a different opinion.
That's what works for you. Because if I had them with me, I would smoke. It's just
that's what every one of my clients say on day 1, and on day 4, they can't believe they've got 24 hours off.
And you know what? That's what I say. 15 years, like, what is it? Bridget, I don't know. Bridget and I have known each other for over 20 years. We knew each other when we smoked. And I've been with my wife 11 years. So 12 to 13 years in, that's what I say now. I don't have to go buy cigarettes. It's a choice. And I do remember, like, oh, that would be really good right now. But I'm not going to crank that back up into my life. It's a choice I made. But I can tell you, when somebody needs to make the decision to quit, you can always find a reason to wait till later. Okay? Saying that
somebody says not now, I go, I get that. Now is not a good time for you to stop, but there will never be a good time. And since there's never been a good time,
my point.
Since there's never been a good time, there's never going to be a bad time. And since there's never going to be a bad time, then the sooner we get you free, the better. Because all I can do is promise you this. You're never going to have the opportunity to stop smoking this young, this healthy ever again. Period. This is the week. This is the time to get free. But again, that's up to the individual.
And call Rocky if you are an individual who feels like it's time to give it up. And he can help you. thecigarettewhisperer.com. Rocky, I love the I love the dialogue between you and Reverend Rob, because it's a real thing, and it's cool. So I want to thank you for being here, and thank you
for having me, man.
Yeah, and thank you, Reverend Rob, for being you.
I'll always be me.
Rocky, is there anything else you'd like to add before we wrap it up?
Just stay safe, good health, be well. There's still a virus among us. Just take care of yourself, take care of those you love. That's it.
And I want to thank you very much for being here, sir.
All right, pal.
It's been awesome. If you're welcome to stay. We're going to do some other stuff, but if you hit the leave the studio button down there, then you can be excused, sir.
Okay, you guys can talk behind my back. I got a few things I need to take care of. Have a beautiful day. So nice to see you again, Kevin. Reverend, nice to meet you.
We're
Nice
not going to talk behind your back. I guarantee it.
Oh, please do. Anyway, have a great rest of the day.
I am.
And
if you know anybody struggling, mention the cigarette whisperer to them. That's all. Let them make their own choices.
Exactly. Now, I some things work for some people and other things don't. So, Rocky may be right up your alley. If you are, please call him if you need that help. Okay, and
And Michael says, let's just say my 9.5 yard dash time has gone down to 9.5 for the 5-yard dash time.
Yeah. Not that funny, is it, Michael?
No.
All right, guys. I'm out of here. Have a beautiful day.
Have a good one.
Bye.
Thank you, sir. Have a great day.
Bye-bye.
And that's Rocky Rosen. He's the cigarette whisperer. Oh boy, how does your tongue feel? Is it a little raw at this point? Is it?
You know what? And just a master of one-liners. I'm sorry. Okay. And again, I will even challenge you, Kevin, to think about it. This is supposed to be positive talk radio. Screaming at people, no compassion or anything like that. Kiss my ass. It's one of those things. Saying everybody this, blanket statements. That is what is wrong with the addiction industry right now. People do need to hear talk, but we need to treat people as individuals and realize they are, something. No. I think his program will work for somebody, but I think this is just somebody that has done something very well with learning to market how to quit cigarettes. And he might have a very good program. Okay. But there were things on here that after working in a mental health hospital, working for a medically assisted treatment program, okay, for opioid, alcohol, all these different things, you know what? This hurt today, LOL. And again, it was, it's one of those things where, whoa, slow down. That's what we're trying to get to people to do. Slow your roll. And that's all I was trying to say was, wait a minute, you can't throw blanket statements. And then when somebody had an answer, he's just got a pocket full of, yeah, I got spanked. And how many times, Kevin, I've laughed at people and I've told people before, when in the history of calming down has anyone ever calmed down by being told to calm down? Yeah. And it was that, and even Bridget just said, I was thinking about heroin. And there's got to be some care. There's got to be some love. I understand it. Okay. Not everything is tough love. It's really not. Well, and quite honestly, I thought it was disrespectful to a degree when he started talking about someone's loved one and the way they died. I know he thinks the shock value thing is good. I don't live my life that way. And I do in jokes, and Bridget will tell you, what do you mean you don't live shock value? Yeah, run naked through the sprinklers, whatever. But it is one of those things where
there's
in this case, not in this case, so I'm sorry. And this might be one of our first guests where I'm like, what the hell? So you might say, hey, Rob, when we're done, let's chat, and that's okay, but no hate, all love for the man. I know he's trying, his heart is in a good place. Okay. But I feel like you just went to a Baptist church on smoking, Yeah. Okay. An AIDS infested skank whore. Okay. I know some AIDS infested skank whores and they're great people. They don't always not care. Okay. Think about a whole slew of people that are having problems. No. I don't even think he fit within within what we were trying to do. But if you could cold turkey a heroin addict or alcoholic, they will die. And you know what? My doctor at one point, my chief and I at one point both got the flu. I was 4 packs a day at that time of Benson Hedges menthol. He was 4 packs a day on Winston's. Okay, the cowboy killers. All right. We both got the flu and were in bed, and we thought we were going to die. About 3 days in, the doctor called both of us and said, for God's sake, get up and smoke a cigarette. We got to smoke a cigarette. Within 4 hours, we were back at work. Our body was literally jonesing because we went from 4 packs a day to nothing. So, yeah, no, whatever. I'll shut up now. Hi, how you doing?
Well, and you do have to admit, however, that quitting heroin and quitting cigarettes are two different things.
Not necessarily. I don't.
You can't.
An addiction.
There's nobody that has died from quitting smoking. There are people that have died from quitting heroin.
Well, sure, cold turkey. Yeah, but the addiction is the same. You know, smoking like, and that's spoken like a true cigarette smoker. You want to make something worse than yours. Now that I'll go with and say that's smoking, you know. So let me ask you this. When I'm dealing with a heroin addict, okay?
Which I've never dealt with, so I have no.
And let me give you this. In some of the MAT programs that are funded by the state, if they test positive for marijuana while they're in a heroin addiction program, we're supposed to kick them out of the program. That's a Florida thing. Okay? You're telling me we would rather have him strung out on heroin than taking a little bit of marijuana, which is now legal with a medicine. And we weren't even allowed to give them a bypass if they had a miracle marijuana card. That's just stupid. That's stupid. And this is what I'm saying.
But you have to understand, you in Florida do a lot of stupid shit because it's not that way in Washington.
No, it's not. But I don't have a tent city in the middle of my city either. You know, so
that's because you've got alligators there.
Yeah, we feed the homeless to the gators. That's y'all come on down now. You hear?
That's exactly right. And
I just didn't like the.
You don't like the militant attitude that he was taking.
No, because I guess I grew up with that crap. Okay. And I think there was more people damaged by that, by some of those statements. And guys, my tribe, you're in the house. If I'm wrong, tell me I'm wrong. Call in and say, Rob, shut the hell up. The man was the greatest thing since sliced bread. I'm going to call and quit smoking. Tell me. And y'all know me. I'll shut up. Okay. Waiting for the phone to ring. I think that would be
let's see. Bridget has a comment. She was a big drinker and quitting alcohol.
No, that's Michael. Bridget's a lot better looking than Michael.
She's talking to Bridget. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Talk about stupid shit. Live
live
in my state for a week. Where does Michael Schmidt live?
Chicago.
Oh,
Chicago.
That's a tough place to be.
Chicken in the car won't go. That's how you spell Chicago.
But you know, here at Positive Talk, we do feature. We have got a caller.
There we go.
So I'll shut up and I'll let our caller talk. Welcome to the show. How are you today?
Hey, it's Bridget. It's easier for me to call you and talk than to type into YouTube.
Good. We're glad you're on the air. What's happening?
Hello?
I'm here. I'm sorry. I was having the TV and you guys talking at the same time. So it was very strange for me. I had to move on. But anyway, I think the guy just was not articulating what he was meaning clearly, like the right way. Like I think I kind of understood what he was trying to say, that it's all a choice and you either make the choice to smoke or you make the choice not to smoke. And that seems very whittled down and easy. But it's not always that easy, right? I mean, it is, but it isn't, because you have chemical stuff going on inside of you that drives your thought processes and your choices. So I just think he was making it way too simplified. And everybody's like, whoa, wait a minute. No, it's not, because you have feelings, and it is a chemical reaction in your body also.
Yeah.
And Bridget, what you don't know is me and him kind of got into it a little bit before the show. And remember when he said it was BS, Kevin, about nicotine and dopamine?
Yeah.
Let me see where this archives, drugabuse.gov. Nicotine triggers the release of dopamine in the brain and the pleasurable sensations. What dopamine's all about. So again, no credentials, no here. Something worked for him. He's popped up his own belief system, and he thinks this tough love thing looks good and it works. But when he said that, I was a little leery of, okay, you don't even have your scientific facts right. So I just wanted to bring that.
I get it. And I get the tough love part of it too, because, you either want to quit or you don't, right? And so if you want to truly, you're going to do whatever it's going to take. You and I both know that, Rob.
Yep.
If you truly want to do it, that's when you're going to do it. And, you're going to deal with whatever the smoking version of the DTs is, and you have them too,
Right. And I agree. And I think the next thing that finally put me over the edge was, no, you didn't enjoy it. Now I'm back. My dad's telling me what I enjoy and what I don't enjoy, kiss my ass. That was one of those things. Sorry, I tried. Y'all haven't heard me cuss a lot. And so this one got me kind of up of who are you to tell me what I feel and what I enjoy and what I don't enjoy? If you want to help me, you need to listen to me as an individual. And no, you fit my program.
I get it. And I think I understand what he was trying to say in as much as that also.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think, and you know what? What's the worst thing he's trying to do is get people to quit smoking. So God love him. That's one of those things of, appreciate what he's doing.
No, I get it. I just think he did. I just think maybe it could have been articulated a little differently. I understood the sentiment. I understood where he was coming from. And he truly is correct in that, if you're going to do it, you're going to do it. If you're not, you're not. But there's a whole other, there's that whole gray area there, that everybody swims in. So.
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree with that. I think that's wholeheartedly. And you just know how much work I've done in addictions, and it just hurt me. And I literally, when he started being kind of cold and callous, he thought it sounded good. That bothered me for people that might have been listening to be thinking of their loved one that way. Might be true.
Yeah,
but
I
yeah. So that's it. But I'm glad to hear your voice.
Oh, am I still here? Oh, I forgot.
I'll get the chastising when we're done.
I think that in order to understand where he was coming from, you would have to review his 4-day program. And did he come across as a little brisk? He did. Did Reverend Rob come across a little brisk? He did, and they both got their back up at the same time. And so, you can't. We would need to review his program to see. And number one, I didn't see any numbers on success rates or anything like that. That would have been an interesting thing to know. But the reason that I had him on is because. Quite frankly, the last time he was here, he was not anywhere near as difficult and as forthright as he was this time. So and he's been viewed over 500 times. So there's interest in the topic. And I think the more we discuss it, which is one of the things that Positive Talk Radio is about, is to discuss stuff that in some cases may be a little uncomfortable for us. And yes, I've been smoking for the last 10 years. I quit for 15. And I need to quit again, but that's just me. And so that's kind of, Bridget, I'm with you. I think that his message was a little brisk, but I think his heart's in the right place. What do you think, Bridget?
I think he just, I think what he's trying to do is good, and if he can help people, that's awesome. I just think the way this interview went, I don't know. I just think that maybe we weren't clearly expressing what we truly meant, or I don't know, because I kind of understood what he was saying, and I kind of agree with him on some stuff. But I understand where Rob's coming from too. Whereas you can't just pigeonhole everybody into one area. But at the same time, then, and this is where I think Rob got upset, was, all right, it's fine. Then have a nice life. See you later. If I don't work for you, here's your hat. What's your hurry? And I get that. So if he doesn't work for you, you just move on to something that does. And there was maybe a softer way to deliver that message.
Yeah, and I, like I've said, and I said all along, there were many things he said in there that I agree with. Choices, things like that, but it's mighty funny. Don't take your next puff. But when I say throw a pack of cigarettes away, oh no, never throw them away.
Well,
it's okay. That's your theory, and that works for you. Okay, and that's okay. But that doesn't mean your theory works for everybody. And that's just what I want people to hear is, okay, if this guy sounds like he works for you, please call him. If you think his plan, I would much rather you call him and take a step towards quitting. Kevin, I would rather you get on his program and quit than not quit. But that's your choice, so yeah, and that's it. I think, I don't know if he got on, like you said, he changed from the way he was before. And, so that was it a little bit. Okay. I've heard this before, and but you're doing as much damage out here with some people as you are, as you are helping others. So,
well, I think from his perspective, he was saying, well, how much damage can I do? If you don't listen to what I have to say, you're just not going to quit smoking. So if you don't quit smoking and you're already smoking, how much damage can I do? But if he feels like he can reach somebody by being a little bit more, the only way that you're going to quit is to stop. And that kind of a superficial look to it, because it is, when I mentioned that every pleasurable thing that you do, you associate with smoking when you're a smoker, and he admitted that was, well, he wouldn't admit that was the case. He said that's a false pleasure, and I don't know about that because that's not my experience of it, or your experience of it. Bridget, you're a former smoker, right?
But I am, and I gotta tell you, to this day, when I drink a cup of coffee, I want to light a cigarette.
Of course.
To this day, when I pour a glass of wine, I want to light a cigarette. After a really big meal, Bruce and I went out last night and pigged out, and boy, I thought, if I light a cigarette, it'll just help me digest, and my stomach won't feel so bad, and I'll feel so much better. But of course, I don't. I just don't. I would probably throw up if I smoked a cigarette right now. But yeah, I mean, I don't know how you would associate it with false pleasure, other than he was trying to say, well, when you smoke, the chemicals in the smoke, fire off, some kind of chemicals in your head, and it gives you the feeling, these endorphins, that gives you the feeling of pleasure. But anything, booze does that, drugs do that, food does that, so are all those false pleasures? Are you experiencing pleasure falsely when you eat a really good piece of chocolate or a really good ice cream sundae?
That sounds really good right now.
Yeah, doesn't it?
Yeah. And that's it. I don't think the man was evil by any stretch. I just didn't like his approach. And that was all. And I don't like blanket statements because, number one of the ways I help people was starting to treat people as an individual. So that was it. Number 2, get your facts straight. And that was some of it, and Michael, I saw that. You're absolutely right. It's on what I'm willing to do, what I'm willing to want. If you want his help, if anybody wants to hit help in Positive Talk Radio, if there's anybody out there listening that's smoking and you want to quit smoking, ask for help. It may not be Rocky. It may not be me. All right. But we would love to have you quit smoking if that's what you want to do. Does that make sense? Does that sound?
Oh, perfectly. But it's kind of like if you go to AA and you watch everybody file out of an AA meeting, they have two things. When one hand they have a cup of coffee, and the other hand they have they have cigarettes. So when you kick the booze, and then the last thing that you're going to kick is smoking, and you still have an addictive personality, where then do you go? Is it then food? And you and I both know that unless we want to go shop at the bigger and bigger men's department, that we don't need any more food. So what do you? And then so do you start running? Do you? I don't know. Bridget, you quit smoking. What did you do to replace that? Because you were a drinker and a smoker. What did you do do you have an addiction that replaced that?
Coffee. I drink a ton of coffee, and I'm not really a drinker. Like I'll drink a glass of wine or whatever, or drink socially. I'm not like a former alcoholic or anything. But for coffee, that is like my main drug of choice.
Yeah, don't get between Bridget and Starbucks. Yeah, do not get between Bridget and Starbucks. Okay.
Yeah, like what
it's
Michael
not pretty.
I like what Michael has to say. They leave the AA meeting and go outside, and then they go to the bar.
Head to the bar. Yeah, so. So, and a lot of times that's true.
Mine's tough.
I'm sorry, but
you know what? I don't know if I replaced anything with mine. One of the biggest motivators to me was, like I said, my health. Bridget will remember when I had a stroke, and a month out of the hospital, I was right back to smoking. And my girlfriend at the time was like, "You shouldn't be." And hey, leave me alone. Want to smoke? Well, smoke. And I smoked for numerous years after that. It was probably 3 years after that or so when I made the decision. And one of the things that helped me make the decision, and I will say the gentleman was right about this. Okay. I was looking, I was out of work, self-employed, doing some things or whatnot, and I'm applying for my son for lunch, for in school. So I was applying for government lunches. Okay. Meanwhile, I've got a pack of cigarettes in my pocket. And one day it hit me. I'm like, I'm asking everybody else to pay for my son to have lunch when I've got, now back in the day, they were $2 a pack when I decided to quit. Okay. So when I've got $20 worth of cigarettes sitting in there, that's not right. And that was my leading factor to quit smoking. Then it was the besides health, the side was the health issues. And, so I was like, I should be ashamed of myself. It was just wrong. So some of that was there. Yeah. Does that make sense? Did I say that right?
I think so. I think, but by the way, here is your better half.
Oh, my better half.
I think his statement of cigarettes, nicotine, don't care about your health, wallet, family is an interesting statement of addictions, and people don't generally think of it that way. And that's true.
Yeah, no, and I would agree with that. And I've called that to people's attention in addictions. Like I said, there were some points I was going, yep, I agreed with. I had a similar conversation with someone who lost two children who were addicts, and her only 2 children. And man, that was tragic. But, and as you can tell, Gillian, my other half, is the deep thinker, so that makes sense. It doesn't care. We're talking about an inanimate object. We're talking about something it doesn't care. All right. But neither does a stick out in the yard. So it's just getting people to frame it up of however they can accept it. Does that make sense?
Yeah. It's that is probably one of the most difficult things, because there really doesn't seem to be one size fits all solution to addictions of any kind based upon your history. And I mean, my brother, when he was he had stage 4 lung cancer, and he went through the 5 stages of grief that Elizabeth Kubler-Ross talks about, because um, he first of all, he didn't believe that it was going to take his life, even though they never even got to the point where they operated on his lung because it was too involved. They operated on his brain because it had metastasized, and he still believed that he was going to survive it. But he smoked until virtually the day he died. And you would like to think that he would, but then I suppose there's a point in time when it doesn't matter, because you figure you're gonna die anyway.
My oldest boy and I had this conversation a while back when I was dealing with a 70-something-year-old, somebody that OD'd on opiates, okay, because he decided he was going to try it for the first time. You know what? Somebody tells you at 70, your wife's passed away, all right? His kids were pissed, all right? But he is already looking at, and like you said, looking at his mortality of, you know what? Why not try it now? I've already been given, he had other health issues or whatnot. Man, hookers, opiate, and send me to Arizona and leave me alone. Maybe that's who's to say that's not the way.
Speaking of which, here's Bruce.
There's Bruce.
When someone makes the decision to quit whatever addictions it is, they will quit. Smoky Dude maybe give them the motivation to make that choice, but people know when it's time, it's time.
That's it.
Except, except the last time I quit, Smoky Dude. The last time I quit, I had an argument with my sister, and the first thing I did, the first thing I did was went and bought a pack of cigarettes.
And I guess this is what really irked me a little bit and kind of got me up, was when he started with bad science. Look at Bruce's last comment.
No, I'm not going to show that.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm kidding.
This is, I worked for several years in this and had a very high success rate. And my success rate was with tarot cards. It helped. It helped people find a way around, break down their barriers, really get to know who they were, what they wanted out of life. And some of that is, so when you come at me and say nicotine has nothing to do with your dopamine, I guess, Kevin, I should have warned you now. Why don't you go ahead and take this interview, because I'm going to step away, because but I tried to be nice. I tried to be nice.
But you don't understand, Rob. That's not appropriate, because we are now having a very good conversation around addictions, around how people handle addictions and that sort of thing, which is a very important conversation to have. And different viewpoints are, I end up being the mediator in most of this stuff, because quite frankly, I have my experience of addiction, but I don't have the expertise that you do as far as addictions or the work that he does. So I defer to you guys. And even though I thought it was very good, lively discussion about some very, very important issues that mean a lot to people, because it affects their lives. And I think it's good.
And so thank you for giving me that leeway. I think, and anybody that truly knows me knows I was very kind. Okay. It gets a lot worse. Okay. And Bruce, thank you for the nod. I appreciate that. I really do. But You know, I just, do we really still want to be in that smart ass, you know, scared straight? I know what I'm talking about. I'm an ex-smoker. Well, you ain't alone. You know, my dad was an ex-smoker. He had to quit his way. You know, I was an ex-smoker. I had to quit my way. Bridget had to quit her way. Bruce doesn't want to quit. Michael doesn't want to quit yet. You know, it's when you make that decision, and Bruce is right. Those things. And just because somebody else, and this is so important, I want people in our audience to understand this, because this is so what I'm about. Just because you have a thought or an idea that may be right doesn't mean that thought or idea is right for everybody else. And there was no respect there. And I think that's where I got it with the whole calling, you know, talking about Michael's brother, things like that. Yeah, I lost respect when he lost respect for people really trying to deal with this issue, you know? And I you know, I appreciate what he's trying to do. I didn't appreciate the way he did it. And that it kind of took me off guard.
Well,
any hope for a recovering Catholic? Come on in. Yes. Which way do you want to go, Brother Michael? Okay. You know, here, just in case the Catholics are right. Okay. You know, there we go. And I'm not making fun of Catholics. Lighten up. Okay.
I had a friend that I would go to breakfast with him every now and again, and every time we went to breakfast at, you know, Denny's, they had a pool, a billiard table in the middle of the bar, and so we would sit in the bar and have breakfast. And he prayed every time before he had breakfast. Now he didn't seem to be a godly man and stuff, but he would sit there and pray. So one time I asked him, I said, "So tell me, why are you praying?" And he said, "Well, you know, I don't know whether it's true or not, but I'm just covering my bases."
Hedging my bets. You know what's that? There's no atheists in foxholes, you know? Exactly.
That's exactly right. So, you know, that's the thing is that when we're talking about a conversation like we just had, I'm glad we had the conversation. I'm glad we had it on this forum, because I think it was, and people can choose. And that's a beautiful thing about what we're trying to do, is people can choose whether or not they buy into that or don't. If you do, call them. If you don't. And if you think that there's a better way, use that better way. I would encourage everybody to quit, unless, you know, I guess there's a certain point in time. It's like the guy that was 70. Now, by the way, that's only 6 years away from me. So that's not like it's a great deal of time. So it's like, right, if you enjoy something at this point in my life, I'm not going to have any more kids. I'm not going to get married again. My kids are in their 30s. I'm going to do what I feel like I want to do. And that's why Holly gets mad at me, but that's a story for another time.
Yeah. And that's what, you know, okay. You reminded me of something. Okay. Hold on. I got to look this up.
Michael, it's Friday. Did you have a fillet of fish or a Big Mac?
Look.
That's right. It is Lent, isn't it?
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. But she's referring to the old fish on Friday for Catholics. But John Paul said we didn't have to do that anymore if you're a Catholic. But do you remember, Kevin? I don't remember if he said it in this show or if it was again in me trying to introduce myself and see what's going on, when he said, "Oh, that's not true about secondhand cigarette smoke." And I said, "How many people died due to secondhand cigarette smoke?" CDC. Exposure to secondhand smoke causes an estimated 41,000 deaths each year. And you know what? If he hadn't been such a schmuck about it, he could have used that and embraced it and went, yes, it does. We are possibly harming other people. So now, this may depend on whether you believe the CDC or not, but there it is. So, it's one of those things of, please, if you're going to come on and proclaim yourself an expert, at least get the basics facts down, or do a disclaimer. I don't care what the science says. I'm going to tell you, this is what I think. Okay.
Well, where he would have been better served is to say, we've made great strides in the area because you're no longer smoking in restaurants. We're no longer smoking in public places, but there are still people in the backwoods and in the highways and byways of America that are smoking in their homes with their kids, in their cars with their kids. And so that's why it remains to be a problem. And why the CDC views it that way, because it still is happening. It might not be in public places, but I still walk into a restaurant. Like I used to work at Denny's. I'll walk into a restaurant and stand there. I expect them to say, "Would you like smoking or not?" And nobody is, you can't smoke in a restaurant anymore. But
right.
But still, that is that people do at home. People do in front of their kids. They smoke in their car in front of their kids. And so it's still, to say it doesn't exist, it was a very black and white statement, which really is in the way it's
exactly.
really not appropriate.
Yeah. And, I smoked while I was even the next step. I smoked while I ate, So cream cheese, chicken, enchiladas tonight. Wow. Okay. 90 minutes. Not without honking your horn.
We're going to fly to Chicago right now. Just keep it warm.
So yeah, keep it all over. Let's see what's going on. Tell the cats to move over. It's just going to be that simple. So, by the way, baby, if you're going to Chicago, what are you leaving me to eat? Okay. Well, I'm going out. It's that simple.
Did you make the chicken wings last night?
Oh, yes, I did. Yes, I did. And we found these chicken wings from Costco, and I forget the name brand of them. And we used the air fryer, 14 or 15 of them, 20 minutes in the air fryer at 400. And then they came with their own mix, and there was this Chipotle barbecue sauce thing they had. Damn, I did not know. Now that's got me hooked on finding things to air fry. Okay, because I did not really know. I've never really had any good air fried chicken wings, and them boys work. They work.
How do you just, not to change the subject, but I'm going to change the subject. How do you like your air fryer?
We only used it for a little bit, then we moved, and it was sitting outside, and I haven't learned to work it. It's one of those Ninja Foodie pressure cooker, all in one, take it to bed with you. You can hit a button, it'll make you happy. One of those things that does everything. Okay. And we talked about it the other day, like it's sitting right here. We need to try it, because my wife and I were eating out. She will tell you, and way too much. And then the Grubhub thing and Bite Squad getting cold food in and paying extra for it to cool down in the car on the way. It was just stupid because we were being lazy. So you know what, Kevin? I fell in love with it. Yes, sangria. There we go. Sangria. And it's going to be a sangria. Now, I have not had an alcohol. Well, no, that's wrong. I've had like 1 or 2 drinks in the past 3 weeks. Bridget, you've been proud of me. But now that you said sangria, I still got some of that Cooper's Hawk sangria, the white sangria in the fridge. Baby, pop the cap. We're coming in for a landing. Okay? So that's what we're doing. Wow, a lot of people coming in here. What's going on? Love the wings last night, and Costco shepherd's pie. Costco shepherd's pie. And for $15, it's like freaking this. It like weighs almost 5 pounds. And pop it in the oven. It's really good,
Now so, Michael says Ice House doesn't qualify. No, that's a lower end beer that. But I will tell you this: when you're driving a bus and somebody pours it in your coin,
oh dear God.
Or your coin taker for fare taking, it doesn't work anymore because the coins stop flowing when somebody. And I've had that happen. In fact,
They had just quit smoking. You know.
Yeah. Well, somebody got on the beer subject, and that's
here we go. Let's get it started.
Ice House is the new Zima. Oh boy.
Hey, Bridget, Bridget, I did bring up to Kevin on the side about a wine and spirit night. So y'all get ready. We're gonna figure this out. The old Natty Ice. I never had Natty. I don't know. So I've lived with shelter. I never was a big beer drinker. I was in the day, and then everybody's got their one beer story, and mine was Miller. Okay. Where you got so sick you can't. No. So beer is hard for me, and Southern Comfort is the other one.
I don't know that I've ever had a beer. What does beer taste like?
Well, it depends on who you ask, because again, you're not having fun when you're drinking beer. You're not really enjoying it. It's a fun, come on. Yeah, I mean, it's past blue ribbon. Now, PBR. I had a guy from Illinois teach me the secret to drinking Pabst Blue Ribbon. And one of the secrets is you got to have a frosted mug. And we weren't driving home. We lived right across the street from each other. So we had our glasses frosting in the freezer. Even though we were inside, you had the Pabst Blue Ribbon on ice all day long. Okay. Frosted glass. Keep that, make it so it's so cold that when you take a sip, it bites. That was not bad. Tastes like someone soaked straw in bubble water. Oh, that's funny. That's why you hang out at White Castle at 4 a.m. We don't have anything down here like that anymore. We lost our Crystal. We don't have a Royal. We never had White Castle. We had Royal Castle. They're all gone. All the little steamed burgers, you got to go to the Publix and get them out of the freezer section and then microwave them.
Those are terrible. Those are terrible.
Yeah, so we don't have those anymore. And those used to be, I used to love those Crystal burgers. But the last time I had them was up in Titusville. And that the home of Larry the Cable Guy. So that'll give you a clue. And damn, I never got so sick in all my life. So I've never been back.
Well, they have White Castles by Disney.
Wow.
Sliders, White Hassles. Yes. So you guys are pretty fun. I do got to tell you.
We can get there. We can get it done. Travis, I didn't see you come in. Glad to see you. Welcome. And that was the old Natty. Oh yeah, that's the old Natty Ice comment. I didn't realize it was you. Nice to see you, buddy. Let's see what's going on.
And by the way, Trav, I told him that you thought that he was reasonably. By the way, that's my son. By the way, but that you were reasonably that Rob contributed mightily, and so he has the approval from the McDonald household.
There we go. Thank you, Travis. I appreciate it. Let's see what's going on. What's Gillian put down there? You hang out at White Castles at 4 a.m. waiting for Starbucks to open. That was good, babe. That was good. That was good. So, hey, y'all, tomorrow morning, 6 a.m. Or 6 a.m., my ass. No, I did that this morning. Forget me. No, not happening. 10 a.m. Eastern, Tarot with an Attitude. We do our special edition, The Magical Unknown. Gillian will be on with me. Come meet her. We read cards together. We have a ball for an hour and a half, whatever. Depends on if people piss us off or whatnot. But we go back and forth and things like that. So, yeah, come meet my wife. It'll be good. And we're going to drag her onto this show, And so, Bridget, maybe you want to do one of the wine and spirit nights with us, and we could do some cards and have it and go, let's see what's happening. What'd she say? In my party days, I went to White Castle at 4 a.m. and my last call was 5. Oh, we're telling on ourselves here. telling on ourselves.
And Michael Schmidt says, if one is that far gone, you hang out at White Castle waiting for the bar to open again. Which, what time do the bars open in Florida?
They change county to county. So, like Levy County, where I was police officer for 4 to 5 years, the city had blue laws on Sunday. The county did not. Okay. But on Saturday night, any alcohol establishment had to be shut down at midnight. So people would leave that county, go to another county, and then noon or so on Sunday, the county would open, and Monday it would all open up back again. Brevard County, it's 2 a.m. You're done.
Do they have dry counties in Florida?
Oh, yeah, they did. I don't know if there are any anymore. Here, I'll ask real quick. We used to. But you want to hear something funny, Kevin? Talking about dry and things like that. 1981, 82 in there, right around January of 82 is when I started in police work. Okay. And we were still breaking up stills in that part of the country, in that part of Florida. Oh my God, big ones. And we would call old deputies in because they would used to run, the old retired deputies would run the stills back in the day. And we'd say, Mr. Charlie, tell me how much, what's the proof of this going to be? He'd shake that bottle, flip it around, watch the bubbles run up, and he would be dead on when I got my lab report back. It was funny. Dry counties in Florida. 5 Florida counties to which this law is applicable: Lafayette, Liberty, Madison, Suwannee, which is just north, a couple counties north, I believe, and Washington County in Florida.
So you know what that means? That right across the county line is the big-ass liquor store you've ever seen.
You got it.
In Louisiana, they have drive-up daiquiri bars.
Daiquiri bars?
Yeah, you go to Louisiana, they've got a drive-through window. You can pick up your case of beer, and they'll mix a couple of daiquiris for you. As long as the lid's on, you're okay. You're not busted by the cops.
Really?
Yes, but that doesn't mean that there isn't a straw attached somewhere. So okay. Yes, they have drive-up daiquiri bars.
That's cool. Sumter, LOL. And hey, if you look, Bridget and Gillian, they're both in on Tipsy Tarot. So we might have to plan the party.
So when you do Tipsy Tarot, what is the drink of choice?
Mine has been sangria. And Gillian used to make me a sangria, and we would put it on Facebook. So like a day or two early. So if you wanted to drink what the Rev was drinking, she would put a recipe up there. Now I'm drinking this sangria from Cooper's Hawk. Okay. Or it's vodka cranberry. That one of those two. So, and we learned at sangria, duh. Okay. Duh, Kevin. It was, that was my drink of choice. I don't get sloppy falling out of the chair, but I get to where, yeah, I'm having fun.
So are you happy?
I ain't driving nowhere afterwards,
Are you a happy drunk, or can it go either way?
I am a happy drunk. I really am. And then it's like, do you really want to go here? I'll go there.
That's what I mean.
Yeah. No, I'm good. I just want to have fun. Now I don't really get drunk. Now I'm going to give away one of my secrets, and Bridget and everybody's laughing right now. When we go on a cruise, okay, and Bruce is going to set us up a PTR cruise coming up. So we're going to figure this out. So y'all get ready. But Robbo loses feelings in his nose. So Bridget calls me Robbo. Okay. And what I do is I drink until my nose goes numb. Okay. So you will see me walking around doing this. If I can feel my nose, fill her up. Let's go. The minute my nose goes numb, I stop. And because I don't want to get to that point. It's not pretty watching something this big get that drunk. It's just not. And so then as I'm going through, I'll want to drink, but I'll check my nose. And once I feel oh yeah, line them back up. Here we go. But I'm not getting sick. I'm not losing the next day. I'm up and around or whatnot. So,
by the way, Gillian has got quite a sense of humor.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, that hold on to the railing. We got married in Key West. Okay. And our first trip somewhere together was Key West. And on the way back up, we were in an upstairs thing, and she told me, hold on to the railing. And I have been writing a song, hold on to the railing. Rum runners got me swaying. Been all day out in the Florida sun. I'm working on this song with hold on to the railing. But I've been working on it now for 10 years. So at some point, I need to make some progression with it.
By the way, this next comment may come under the category of too much information, but
I drink until Bruce says, "Come on, babe, it's bedtime." Look at Bruce right above that. Go up, Perk. We got Bruce's attention. Perk, cruise. Yep. Okay. We like cruises. So we were talking about doing one first of the year for TWAA, where we put it on hold because we really foresee coming up in the immediate future no need for a vaccine. They're going to lighten up on that. And so people that don't want to get vaccinated or whatnot, it's going to open up for a lot more people to come. And it just removes that from the picture. So that's what we're doing. We're holding off on that, and let's see, where it goes from there. Michael,
by the way, my son, who I'm going to show he has got a unique skill that I've never seen anybody do. Have you ever seen anybody? He can watch a movie like once or twice, and then he can if you give him a quote or tell him like a scene, he can say it back to you verbatim of what was said on the screen. Have you ever known anybody to be able to do that?
Miss Bridget. Bridget.
Okay.
And if it's a movie, yeah. So Travis, you got to come with us because you, Bridget, and Gillian doing the movie trivia. Damn. Okay. Y'all will knock it. Get me free drinks, y'all. Go ahead. And win that trivia prize.
And you're not drunk until you have to hold on to the grass to keep from falling off the earth.
Yeah. And you know what? As you get older, you'll be like, nah, not going there again. That's why the Rev rubs the nose.
Well, Travis has got a bit of vertigo when he drinks, so he has got to be very careful, because if he overdoes it, the room starts spinning, and then he's not good for anything after that.
Yeah. No, when in my policing days, I was a intoxilizer operator, and Florida at that point had gone from a 0.10 to a 0.08. And they had determined that everybody who was an intoxilizer operator needed to get drunk and be to a 0.08 unless you presented as an alcoholic, and you couldn't do it. So, but the class always started at 8 o'clock in the morning, and they wanted you at 0.08 before lunch. And because of my size and whatnot, I got to like a 0.07. No, it was 0.10 at the time. I got to a 0.08 and hung there. We were making my drinks with Everclear. When it finally kicked in, I was at lunch. We were all having pizza. I was picking people up, putting girls on the table, and we're all in squad cars. So I was not driving. Okay. We got back. I blew a 0.22. All right. And yeah, so people have different effects of different things. And so, if invited, I will come on sometime soon and talk travel. That would be a great idea. I think talk travel would be a good positive thing, because I like people to understand travel is good for self-care. Taking care of yourself and getting out and seeing the world, finding some things. So, the Kevinator and I will kick that around and see what's going on. Michael, what does that say? That or if you're afraid to fall off the ceiling.
Yes.
Uh,
That if
I'm going to come right straight out. Please say the word inconceivable.
inconceivable. I don't think you know what that word means.
Oh, he got it. He even knew what we were talking. Bridget was like, "Oh my God," So the inconceivable, and you did it well. Do it again. Do it again.
I don't think you know what that word means.
That's Indigo Montoya. Or what? Gillian's like killing me. That is Gillian's movie. That and Twister. I don't know what it is. Dear God, if Twister's on, we got to stop. And it's crazy.
See, now this is exactly what I'm talking about, because I said I don't think you know what that word means, and he said I do not think it means what you think it means. That's which is the actual quote from the movie.
Absolutely. Look at Gillian. Bessie movie. I think it's supposed to be Beth, but Bessie movie ever. That's her thing. So. And once they kill my favorite line out, and I don't know why, because I grew up watching Andre the Giant wrestle.
Oh yes.
When he looks up and says, "Hi, lady." I don't know why. I love that part. Hi,
Reverend
lady.
Rob, I am so old. I saw him wrestle live.
Did you? I never got that opportunity. But yeah, I saw Dusty Rhodes. I saw, a lot of Tim Woods, a lot of those big names. Here we go down a horrible path. So,
Yeah. Well, the sad thing is most of those guys, the really cool ones, are gone now. Like Randy Savage and
oh yeah.
So
yeah, no, it's really I can't even begin to no. I don't think so. Trevor Gillian saying that you have an eidetic memory. Baby, good word use. Very good.
I do not think you know what that word means. What? I don't even know that word is in the English language. Which language are you speaking now?
Oh my God!
Wrestling was a great show. The Road Warriors.
I remember the name. I don't remember the people.
Jimmy Snuka.
Oh, Superfly.
He was in the Northwest before he was here, as was Jesse Ventura and Playboy Buddy Rose, and all of this goes back in the day in like the 1970s and stuff. And Jimmy Snuka was an amazing guy. I do have a quick story for you. Can I tell this story?
That?
I took my wife to a professional wrestling match, and she had to go home and take a shower afterwards. But because the type of people that populate at the wrestling matches and stuff. But a guy by the name of Dutch Savage, he was a wrestler of note in the Northwest. He was a partner of Jimmy Snuka and stuff like that. And he developed the Coal Miners glove match. And in any event, so we were there and we watched this wrestling show, and then we get in our car and we're heading up and there's a little tunnel that's leading on to I-5 going on in Seattle, going southbound. And this car comes zooming up behind us and starts trying to get in front of my wife and back and forth and back and forth. And so I flip him off, and I turn around and flip him off again. He pulls up next to me, and it turns out to be this wrestling guy. He rolls down his window and he says, "You must be the toughest dumb son of a bitch in Seattle." And I said, "Hey, Dutch," and he left. But that's my claim to fame with professional wrestlers.
There you go. Michael Schmidt, he knows the Road Warriors, and look at Bridget. Kevin Nash, baby.
Yes. And he had to quit not too long ago.
Who's that?
Kevin Nash.
Oh, okay.
And who was the Triple H Triple H just announced his retirement.
Is he still in it?
He's now doing, like commentary and stuff like that.
Wow. Okay.
And
What's funny is I just watched a movie with him in it, or I started watching it, Blade Trinity. He's in it. So he's a vampire with a Pomeranian that's a vampire. So, yeah, check that out.
And my favorite wrestler of all time is Roddy Piper.
Roddy Piper. Mine had to be Dusty Rhodes. And then there was a guy, I forget who he was. I used to do him so well. Warren, if you're listening, the guy he was crazy, and he'd be like, or whatnot. And that's all he did,
Animal?
I don't know. I don't think so. He had on like a fly cap and he turned it sideways. So, my heroes probably don't match up to the rest of the world. So, well, at any rate.
Well, it was so sad when we found out that it wasn't real. That's like Santa Claus. When you find out Santa Claus isn't real.
I think Santa devastated me a little more than wrestling. I do think that devastated me a little more because I caught on that not all of wrestling was real when I body slammed one of my friends and wound up in the principal's office. I was like, well, hey, Saturday they all got up. It's not my fault that I'm in the 6th grade and I can body slam everybody in here.
And
Mick Foley, that's who. Okay, Bridget, I remember Mick Foley.
He was the best.
Maybe it was Animal. I can't remember.
Mick Foley was the best at taking an amazing amount of pain of any human being I've ever seen. Because
what you just said, Kevin, fake.
Well, except for
fake.
What they did things like, did you ever see the time when Nick Foley, the other guy put thumbtacks on the wrestling mat and then body slammed Nick Foley into the thumbtacks? Did you ever see that one?
I don't think so. But you know what? Pay me $60,000 and I'll do it.
You're one of them.
Thumbtacks.
Yeah.
It's thumbtacks. But it had to hurt. I just don't know.
I know who Rob is talking about.
He was, and he was just like crazy, and I can't remember who he was. I'd have to ask my buddy Warren, see if he was listening to find out what he is, but I don't think he's listening. So we had a ball. Those are the good old days. So
we've just been kind of hanging around for the last little while and just kind of having a nice chat. But I want to remind everybody that Positive Talk Radio is going to. Oh, see now, Gillian and I have something in common now. She's on. But starting on Monday, by the way, Monday is going to be an extravaganza because we're going to be doing 6 hours of Positive Talk Radio on YouTube, on Rob's channel and my channel. And then we're starting our 2 hours a day, Monday, Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays. We've got some great guests, most of which that you will like, and 90% of them aren't going to piss Rob off, which would be really a nice idea. There's always going to be.
We were waiting for it to happen, Kevin. I was waiting for it to happen.
There's always going to be that 10% that's going to get you going. But I think he took a certain devilish delight in getting you going quite a little bit.
I do too, and he just knows. Bruce and Bridget will tell you, I was so kind. I was kind. He didn't meet, and my wife will tell you, he did not meet. King Kong Brody. Yeah, there you go. No, it might have been. I can't remember. King Kong Bundy might have been. I can't remember. Remember he had a beard. But even my wife was like, oh, crap. here it comes, and it never came. But there was only so many things I could be like, But you know what? Here we are. We're having a good time. Bruce went to smoke a cigarette, so or a cigarette. So and you're dying. I know you're dying. I can feel it through here.
No, who, me?
Smoke. Yeah.
No, I snuck one in where you weren't looking.
Oh, but you didn't enjoy it, did you? Okay, never mind. Never mind. Yeah, all right.
We should not.
Monday, the show on Monday. Okay, the Monday. What is it? 9 a.m. your time, 12 p.m. my time. Is that
correct?
Okay. That one never made it on, so I might not be able to make that one. But everything else for the rest of the day, it looks like we're lined up from 3 p.m. all the way until 7 p.m. my time.
Correct.
4 hours. Here we go. Is that going to be on one broadcast where we just go? Or are we splitting it and doing...
I think we're going to... I think we're going to do one broadcast.
I would like to try that. Because then people don't have to leave, go find us. I don't have to run, go post the other show. Let's do it. Let's get them all in here, and let's see.
And we've got 4 really interesting people, and they're and the gal at 9 o'clock in the morning. Her name is Allison Roberts, and she is an extraordinary coach, and has got quite a life story to go with it. So, and that's really more along the lines. Quite frankly, Mr. Whisperer kind of flew underneath the radar just a little bit, but
you were telling me how boring. Well, never.
I don't know how many cups of coffee he had before he came on, but he was quite a bit more animated than I had seen him. Apparently, you got him going before we even started the show.
I bring the best out in people, So it was one of those things. I was real close to going, dude, go have a cigarette.
Well, he had him right with him.
Yeah,
And I did want to ask him because the pack, I don't know if you noticed that the pack wasn't full.
Yeah, so are they stale as hell, or is his plan ain't working that well? I don't know. I'm hoping it's just like, no, I kept these forever. So so you might as well not have them, because what happens if that pack is 4 years old, 5 years old, whatever he said. That's going to be like smoking. Go pull a limb off a tree and inhale, so it's kind of a little bit of a motivator there. So,
boy, Brody died in 1988 from stab wounds suffered backstage in a shower during a wrestling event in Puerto Rico. The killer was, and just as an aside, we say that it's fake, but there's a lot of it that these guys have to be in incredible shape, because it's a very, very tough way to make a living.
Well, sure, and that's what they're always throwing around, that they need more, better pay, better insurance, or whatnot. But they all keep doing it, because how do you walk away from that money if all you can do is go, oh yeah,
There was a guy by the name of Irish Patty Ryan, and he was a bit of a journeyman, and so he traveled. In those days, in the 70s, it was called the circuit, where you would go. Portland had a promotion, and before Vince McMahon came in and nationalized the whole thing, there were regional promotions. And he ended up, can you imagine this? He was a professional wrestler. He ended up dying in the ring in Pocatello, Idaho, away from his friends, away from his family, and all of that. But that's what that life was all about.
And who was the guy who died? They were swinging him in from the ropes, and the ropes broke. They were a brother team.
Yeah, that was what was his name?
Hart? Was it Hart?
Yes, it was the Hart brothers.
And it was
elder
one of them. Yeah.
Bret Hart was the younger one.
Yeah. And Gary Hart.
Owen Hart.
Owen Hart. There we go. All right. Dick the Bruiser. Wow.
Well, that's going way back.
Yeah. Owen Hart. There we go. Look at Bridget coming in. Boom. Boom.
Right baby. On top of that.
Bangarang. Okay. There we go. That's funny. All right. It's almost 7:00.
Does anybody want a reading or anything real quick before we go?
Yeah, and if somebody wants, call in. I'll do a reading for you on the phone.
Oh, wait,
If you want,
I
pop it in.
terminated the phone link. So,
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
All
so
right,
they
so
can.
write it, put it in. I'll do a reading for somebody real quick. While we're waiting, though, I do want to remind people 4:00 Eastern tomorrow. Go to ascendedmasters.store, and I am doing Tarot Simplified 2. It is a live class. I am going to put people on Zoom and do the link. And I moved it from Fridays to Saturdays to try to get more of a, allow people to be there, and let's see what's happening, So would love to see that. Also, tarotwithanattitude.com, book a session, do whatever. And more to come as Kevin and I talk about us meshing all this together and making Positive Talk Radio a big thing. So here we go.
We're going to make some mashed taters.
Yeah. How will Tipsy Tarot go? Drinking tarot. We'll have to get people in and we'll advertise it. We'll find out. Kevin will pick a date. We'll get with Bridget and Gillian because they'll help out. And we'll start putting it out there with a date and probably on a Friday or Saturday night. Saturday nights are always good for tipsy stuff,
Okay. I got one before we go. Geez, we're getting all kinds of
here we go
of stuff here. And Michael, I'm pretty much I'm pretty much the same age as you are. No, you're much younger and much prettier. Shawn Michaels and Bret the Hitman Hart. And Bridget says, okay, Bridget, and I've got, and Gillian, I've got a saying for you. I want you to tell me what movie it's from. Well, I'd like some meatloaf and some mashed taters and some of that cornbread that your lovely wife makes. Who said that? Or what movie is that from?
I'm out. I don't know. Now, the minute you say it, I might remember it, but this is not me, So
it was a great movie. I'll give you a hint, Reverend Rob. It was about not Sling Blade, not. It was about a mile, and Tom Hanks.
Green Mile.
Yeah,
the Green Mile. Okay,
that's what Coffee was going to have for his last meal.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. And
Travis
McDonald, John Coffey. He remembered his first name. There we go. Sticking it in there. Bridget, are you saying pull a card? Did you want me to just pull a card? Or is this how you want the Tipsy Tarot to go, where we're just pulling one card? I like the pulling one card thing. Like the drink. Yes, there we go.
If only I could get my son to want to be on the radio. That he's funny.
Sure would like some of them there biscuits. Here we go down the rabbit hole. Does anybody remember? And I'm probably giving this one away. Okay, where the saying actually was used? Wherever you go, that's where you are.
Oh, Travis, don't let me down.
This might be pre-Travis. Well, it's definitely pre-Travis. But let's see what's happening here. So let's see. I'll be surprised if Gillian doesn't bust it out. Sure would like some of them there biscuits. So come on, y'all. They're looking it up. They're taking way too long. Look at cheaters. I don't know that one. And see, but that's an age thing. This is
if he hasn't watched the movie, then he wouldn't.
Yeah, this is an 80s thing. And he probably would be like, I'm not watching that shit. I made my wife watch it because I forget what the hell it was. She made me watch. And oh, damn. So it was Payback. But this is one of my favorite movies. And it was from The Adventures of Buckaroo Banzai. And I strongly urge everybody pull it. You'll see Jeff Goldblum with a 10-gallon cowboy hat those puffy white lambskin chaps. Oh yeah, it's a great movie. First, you get down on your knees, fiddle with your crystallese, bow your head with great respect, and pull a card, pull a card, pull a card.
So,
All right, up or what?
Is that what they call them in Florida?
Crystallese?
Yeah.
I don't know what there.
When you got to fiddle with your crystallese.
Started drinking without me, so save me some, babe. Save me some. Yeah, now I'll tell you something that's funny. When we go out, when we do have a drink, she is and I will give you all a hint. If you're going to be an alcoholic, marry an ex-bartender. Okay, because we will go out and have a drink, and I'll be like, remember that one, and she'll come home and figure out how to make it. All right, so she will go give me a gin and tonic. I want a vodka, a vodka neat, whatnot, and I'm like, give me the Johnny Bravo. So it's total. I'm into the sweeter. I don't want to taste my alcohol every now and then, but not so.
Okay, Gillian and Bridget, I've got one for you, and see if you can guess what movie this is from. And I doubt you'll get it. You ready?
Here we go.
You know what I'm going to do just for the hell of it? I'm going to take this right foot, and I'm going to whop you on the left side of your face.
I'm in. I know this one.
There's not a damn thing you're going to be able to do about it.
Not a damn thing you're going to be able to do about it.
Really? Whop. Okay, what movie is it from, Reverend Rob?
Billy Jack.
Very nice.
Billy Jack. Yeah. Oh, see, Travis got that one. So he's seen some classics,
Well, and he lived with me, and that was, what was the name? What was the name of the theme song, and who sang it?
I don't remember who sang it, but 110 Soldier Rides Away was. I don't know if that was the name of it.
110 Soldier, and it's Coven.
It's what?
The name of the group was Coven, Coven.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Remember that? That. All right, baby. Now you. All right. First off, Gillian, the movie was Bridget. The movie was not stupid. It was deep thinking for its time. Okay. Gillian, I am also a massive Tom Lehrer fan, which that was modified from. And Vatican Rag. First, you get down on your knees, fiddle with your rosaries, bow your head with great respect, and genuflect. I have no idea where this is coming from.
Is that an actual word, genuflect?
Genuflect. I know I've heard it. Have you made me watch this movie? A lot of times I put my foot down. I'm like, no. My God, if I see a movie, and I know her and Bridget love it. Okay. I can't stand it. The Wedding Singer. And you will now hear them screaming at me through the, Ask Michael, So there we go. You, Bridget and the Wedding Singer. Oh my God, can't stand it. And the other one, Wedding Singer, stupid movie. If Buckaroo Banzai stupid, that one's stupid.
But that's Pretty Woman.
Pretty Woman.
Is it
Adam Sandler?
No, the gal that was in it. Wasn't that
Julia Roberts?
Julia Roberts, yeah.
I don't think so, but I don't know. Wedding Singer, and it was all, woo, look at you go. Great movie. Now maybe we'll get a chick fight out of this. Okay. Here we go. All right. Yes. When you're in the presence of a cardinal or higher. So, wow. No Drew Barrymore. Drew Barrymore, that's who it was in that one. Yep, both of them. There they are. No Drew Barrymore. Okay. That's who starred in in The Wedding Singer.
Oh, I never saw it.
The other one Gillian's into is The Proposal.
Oh.
The only part I like is when he's out walking the dog. It's this little bitty dog, and they're in Alaska, and an eagle swoops down and takes the dog. I'm like, yes, okay, we can turn the channel now. Oh, Jinx, buy me a Coke. There we go. A Coke or some Coke. Remember, Positive Talk Radio. And please, dear God, don't let, what's his name, hear you say that. So here we go. Julia Roberts and Richard Gere. That was in what?
Pretty Woman.
Pretty Woman.
Pretty Woman. I love that movie. That was a fun movie.
That was a good movie. You know, I don't know if I want to see it over and over and over. You know, The Runaway Bride was the next one off of that one. So that was actually not too bad. That's The Proposal. Yes. And also The Runaway Bride. The Proposal. Which one's The Proposal? Oh, the eagle. Yeah, that was cool. Off go. Oh, she's walking it, not him. She's walking the dog, and it's like grandma's dog or something, and the eagle comes down and takes the dog.
Yeah, that would be fun.
I don't know. And yeah. And The Proposal, wasn't that Sandra Bullock? I can't remember.
Yes.
There we go. So yeah. All right, we have digressed so far. You know, it's time. Plus, I'm hungry.
I'm ready to go take a nap, quite frankly. You guys have worn me out. So I'd like to thank everybody for being here. This actually has been a lot of fun. And Reverend Rob, you know, I'm going to get to know your hot buttons, and then don't be surprised if I bring somebody on just to fuck with your head. Excuse the expression. Just for fun.
Thank you. You said it first, Bridget Gillian. He said it first. You know, so now here we go. No, I'm only kidding.
Yes.
I'll
no,
try.
that
once I start, it's kind of hard to get me to stop. But push my hot buttons. Yeah, you just got to tell me how much. Remember, I'm still trying to, you know.
And I thought
how far I can go. But if they're going to push my hot buttons, and you're like, we got to come up with a hidden signal where it's like saying "sick them" to a bulldog, then it's like, okay.
Well, the only thing that I never want to do is to blindside a guest that we've invited on in good faith and then tell them they're full of shit. That's probably not a really good.
I wouldn't blindside them. I really wouldn't. But if I throw a warning shot across the bow, are you sure about that? Do you want to rethink your position? Yeah, no. Okay, you are just stupid. Here we go.
And Bridget has just captured the story of my life.
Kevin, I'm so sorry, brother. You know, we got to get some money together. So anybody's listening, go donate to Kevin on Positive Talk Radio. There is a, what was it? AIDS-filled skank around the corner. And you know what? Just wrap that rascal in latex and go have a little fun, you know? And I'm not even drinking yet. So imagine when we do some Tipsy Tarot. Okay? This is going to be fun. This is going to be fun.
I don't know. You're right, Bridget. We don't know how to act. We're real life.
Right.
And Michael, thank you for hanging with us. And by the way, young man, and I mean this in all sincerity, feel well. I hope that everything is under control and that you're doing okay. You're far too young, because I'm 64 and you're a little younger than that. And you know, just take care of yourself. All right.
Yeah. You need anything, buddy, let us know. We'll always send a prayer out your way. Okay. So, but no judgment here. All right. Take care, brother. Go make your enchiladas. See, y'all think I forget. Cream cheese chicken enchiladas in the Schmidt household tonight.
Well, we'll be there. Thank you, Reverend Rob. Thank you, everybody, for paying attention. And we'll see you Monday at noon Pacific time, 3 p.m. for our little marathon that we're going to do back to back. So, and then we'll be on 2 hours on Wednesday through Friday. It's gonna be great fun. Tell your friends. And I hope you've enjoyed our time together. I know I have, although I need a nap now. So
yeah, make sure you're hitting the like button. Make sure you're hitting the subscribe button and share. And my tribe members here, go ahead and head on over to Positive Talk Radio on YouTube and hit that notification button, because when Kevin puts it into Tarot with an Attitude YouTube, the notifications are not coming out. So if you want to get them, you can still watch through Tarot with an Attitude, but make sure if you go ahead and go over there and hit the subscribe button, you're going to be helping us both out anyways. And somewhere down the road, we're going to put all this together and try to make sure it all comes out. So please go do that. Okay.
And everybody, you have yourselves a great Friday night. It's 7:00 Eastern time. Go have dinner. What are you doing this? You got to go have fun. It's Friday night. Go take care of yourselves. We'll see you next time on Positive Talk Radio. Thank you, Reverend Rob.
You're welcome.
Thanks for enjoying this episode all the way to the end. Please give us a like and subscribe to this channel. This has been a production of kmmedia.pro. Please visit our website, oddly enough, named kmmedia.pro, for more details about us and our mission, which is to provide great positive programming designed to inspire us all. I'm Kevin McDonald, and I'm proud of these shows, and I truly hope that you'll like them and share them with friends and family. So on behalf of our entire team, remember, be kind to each other, because each other's all we've got. We'll see you next time.